Hello, everybody. This is Alan at Alan Talks FinTech, and today I want to talk to you about why I use Fidelity Investments. Fidelity Investments was started back in 1946 by Edward Johnson. He had purchased this fund called the Fidelity Fund and then created this company called Fidelity Management and Research Company. Shortly after buying the company, he hired a manager named Jerry Tsai, who took the Fidelity Fund and grew it to $1 billion. And that was kind of the start of Fidelity and mutual funds, and which is something they're pretty well known for. Fidelity is based out of Boston, Massachusetts. It's privately owned. The Johnson family still owns it and runs the company. They have over 28 million customers, over $7 trillion in customer assets, over 2.6 trillion in global assets. And one thing that's really good about them is they have 10 regional offices, 190 investment centers across the United States and across the world, which makes it real easy to find a Fidelity center within a major city. They employ over 40,000 associates, and then they're in 8 other countries. Now, Fidelity basically focus on 2 major areas: personal investing and workplace investing. So in the personal investing space, they offer accounts for IRAs, annuities. You can open a brokerage account, a 529 account, like UGMA accounts, also HSAs, and they have cash management accounts, which are kind of like checking saving type accounts. Or they'll manage the money for you if you would like, pay a little bit of a fee. Now, on the corporate side or the workplace side, they manage 401ks, 403bs for corporations, and they also manage their pensions. So they offer that service for corporations that are offering 401ks, 403bs, and similar things, as well as pensions. So they're a big player in managing corporate type retirement funds. The reason I use Fidelity is my previous company, IBM, and my current company, both those corporations use Fidelity to manage the 401ks and also their pensions. And what I saw over the years was both of those companies started out with other companies managing that. Schwab was one of them. And then eventually they all kind of migrated to Fidelity. IBM ended up at Fidelity, and my current employer ended up at Fidelity. The same thing happened with my wife's employer. They eventually went through several companies and finally ended up at Fidelity. So at work, all of our accounts are in Fidelity for the most part. And then so it makes it really natural to also use them for personal type brokerage accounts and IRAs and things like that. So I've rolled over other accounts into rollover IRAs or traditional IRAs, and also have started Roth IRAs. So one thing good about Fidelity managing 401ks is they can tailor it for the company that they're managing the money for. So for IBM, they have a certain set of funds that they offer. For my current employer, it's a different set of funds. But one advantage about my current employer is they offer a self-directed service called Brokerage Link. It looks kind of like a fund when you're moving money around, but basically once you get money into that Brokerage Link, you can buy and sell individual stocks, bonds, other mutual funds, ETFs, things like that. On the personal side, they offer many types of accounts. Most of them have no minimum amount and no or low fees. So they offer brokerage accounts, custodial accounts for parents managing their kids' money, IRAs, 529s, HSAs, basically everything you would want they offer. And then they also offer cash management accounts. Like I said, it was like a checking savings account. And they also offer a cashback credit card of 2%. And when they pay the cash back, you can specify which of your brokerage accounts or IRAs that you want that money to go into. Some of the features at Fidelity Investments include being able to access it via the web, mobile, so both phone and tablet, and obviously telephone or voice response unit. Their mobile apps for iPhone and tablet are pretty good. I use them at home a lot and at work. And their website's really good too. There's a lot more functionality on the website than there is on the phone and the tablet, but you can do most of your transactions via the mobile apps. They also have an Active Trader Pro app, which is really a desktop type app. It's meant more for active and technical traders. It's kind of competing with Ameritrade's Thinkorswim app. The other thing you can do with Fidelity is, since they have a lot of offices, you can go in and talk to people, do transactions, get financial advice. You can also talk to advisors on the phone. I've had them call me and want to take a look at my portfolio without charging anything. But they can also manage your money for a fee if you want them to do that. One of the great things about Fidelity, and I think it's the reason why a lot of corporations move to Fidelity, is they have research, good research content, and good learning content. So webinars and stuff like that. But in the research space, they allow you to search for stock by over 100 criteria, and it's really quite flexible what you can look for. You can create watch lists and alerts and do research in other areas like mutual funds and bonds, ETFs. And they also will provide you information about IPOs, so you can know when's coming up and some basic information about it. And in their research space, you can search for market and sector type information within a sector. What's the fastest growing stock? What's the least growing stock? Things like that. Now, the other aspect that's really popular and really well done is their learning center. So they offer courses, little articles, videos, webinars, things like that, and they're really well done. I participate in a lot of their webinars. I sign up for them. A lot of times they're at 12 noon Eastern time, and they repeat them over several months, and sometimes they record them and you can listen to a recording. On the planning side, they have, the typical tools: creating a retirement score, budgeting, managing your money. They also will manage your money for you. There's one way of doing it called Fidelity Go. They'll charge you 0.35% a year, and it's kind of Fidelity's answer to Wealthfront and Betterment, and so they're trying to do it at a low cost and kind of give you that robo-advisor type of service. So usually anything that comes out in the market, Fidelity will come out with a similar type of app or similar type of functionality. Now, why I really use Fidelity is I can go there and just about all of my money is in one place. So I can look at my pensions, 401ks, IRAs, brokerage accounts, and I have all of those. So it's really convenient. Go to fidelity.com, sign in, it's all right there. One dashboard, one view. You can also open up accounts really easily. They don't charge you to open an account. There's no minimum balance. There's no fee to open an account. So once you realize that, you can start creating accounts for various purposes. I have an escrow account that I created for my property taxes on my house because I paid off my house. I have a early retirement account. I have a emergency account. And I could create as many additional accounts as I need. I can easily view and change my positions in each of those accounts. In the portfolio view, you can click on positions and it'll show you all the positions that you have in each account. You can also set up alerts for your stocks. They also have a credit card which offers 2% back, and you can specify which accounts the money should go into. It doesn't have to all go into one account, it can go into multiple accounts. The other reason why I really like it, it's pretty easy to open a joint account. So I've opened several of them with my wife, and both of us through our login accounts can see that common account that exists in both of our names. You can also specify beneficiaries on all of your accounts. You can specify reinvestment of capital gains or dividends. You can buy lots of different types of investments, and the trading portion of it allows you to do limit orders, which I really like. I tend to buy stock by specifying a limit. It supports TurboTax, which is what I use for doing taxes. You can easily pull down the information from Fidelity when it's available, and Fidelity will let you know when it's available. If you use a site like Personal Capital, you can easily connect into Fidelity and pull down your information. Same thing with mint.com, Quicken. Now here's what it looks like when you want to buy or sell a stock. So you say, I want to do a trade. It'll list the available accounts and their balances at the top. You pick one of the accounts. It says, okay, you have this much money that you can use. Then you enter the stock symbol. It'll bring up the current price, the bid and ask, and volume. And you can specify, am I buying, am I selling all? And then you can specify a quantity. If you're not sure you have enough money to buy a certain quality, you have a little calculator. You say, how much do I want to buy? How much money do I want to spend? It'll calculate how many shares. You can place market orders, limit orders, all the stop loss type orders. The time in force can be either that day, which is pretty typical, or good to cancel. And then you click preview and it'll tell you here's what the trade's going to be, and you press submit, and then it submits your order. Now they charge $4.95 per buy order and per sell order for stocks. So the cost for Fidelity is fairly low. You can open accounts with no fee and no minimum, which is really good. So you could really open as many accounts as you want. They'll all show up under your login ID, but they'll be separate accounts. And then you can move money in, move money out, invest each of those separately. So they're treated as separate accounts. You have multiple brokerage accounts, multiple IRAs, and their trade cost is $4.95 per trade. So that's $4.95 to buy, $4.95 to sell. Sometimes on the sell, they'll add in usually a little less than $1 on some special fees that apply. They also offer some zero expense ratio funds. They offer 4 of them. 2 of them they started in August of 2018, and the other 2 they started in September 2018. So here's some of their zero expense ratio funds. They have a large cap fund, total market fund, an extended market fund, which is small, medium size companies, and then they have an international fund. And like I said, these started in August. 2 of them started in August of 2018. 2 of them started in September of 2018. And then what happened to the market? Well, it went down in October, November, and December. So even though they started the unit price at $10, by the time you got to the end of December, a lot of them were down in the $8 range. And then this videos recorded in March, they've pretty much recovered back close to the $10 range, but that was where their starting point was, $10 a share. Fidelity has been trying real hard to compete with Vanguard on zero fee, low fee types of funds. So they have a page you can go to where they compare their funds to Vanguard funds and compare the expense ratios, and they like to show that their expense ratios is lower. Now, I haven't sat down and looked at each of these to see what their rate of return is, if they're comparable, but at least they are very competitive on the fees side of the house. The other thing about these Fidelity funds, especially on the zero fee, I have used them to put money into, like say I may have $25.15 as a balance. I can move that $25.15 into one of those zero expense ratio funds. I can move it to the exact penny. And because there's no fee in that transaction, you can just move the whole amount. Now here's what it looks like when you log in. Basically, Fidelity shows you a portfolio view of your account. So down the left side, sorry it's all blacked out, didn't really want to show all my account numbers and balances, but down the left side is each of your accounts. So they start out with what they call investment accounts, which are like brokerage accounts, and then retirement accounts like IRAs, 401ks, and then they will even have links to your pensions if the company you work for, if their pension is being managed through Fidelity. So they link it all together. And then down at the bottom on the left is where if you have the credit card through them, they'll show you your balance. Now across the top, they have various tabs. We're in the summary tab here. They also have a positions tab, which will show you for all of your accounts what your positions are in equities, bonds, options, things like that. They show you balances. Another tab does activities and orders. Do you have orders that are waiting to be processed, or do you have some transactions that are already processed? And that's where if you get paid a dividend, it'll show up under activity and orders. And then the last tab on the right, account features, that's where you can specify beneficiaries. You can specify dividend reinvestment or capital gain reinvestment. So they also have a desktop app called Active Trader Pro. It's meant to compete with TD Ameritrade's Think or Swim app. Has all the typical candle charts, technical indicators, and basically it's meant for active traders and people who pay attention to technical aspects of trading. I don't use it a lot because I'm never home. I don't have it installed at work. I use the mobile apps on my phone and my iPad the most, and then I also use the normal web app fidelity.com. One of the strengths of Fidelity is their research center, where basically there's hundreds of criteria that you can search for stocks with. You can look at sectors, you can look at markets. There's all kinds of criteria. You could spend hours and hours looking, searching, and things like that, and it does a really good job. I use it once in a while to find like maybe a high-paying dividend stock that's highly rated by the analysts. So really, the research part of the site is one of the strengths of Fidelity. Here's some of the criteria, maybe a little hard to read, but basically you can pick and choose how you want to search. The other feature I really like about Fidelity is my current employer, through their 401k, offers a self-directed account called Brokerage Link. So when you're in Fidelity, part of the website called Net Benefits, and you're looking at the funds that they have available, Brokerage Link will show up as another fund, and then you can transfer money into it or out of it. And then once the money is transferred. Usually it takes about 2 days. You can then buy and sell stock within Brokerage Link as though it was a brokerage account. And then the benefit of it is all the money in there is tax deferred. You can reinvest the money. And it's a good way to build up dividend accounts if you want. Or you can buy bonds or CDs or whatever you like, you can buy within Brokerage Link. Now, not all 401ks that are offered through or managed through Fidelity offer Brokerage Link. So my IBM 401k does not offer that, but my current employer's 401k does. And both of those are through Fidelity. Like I said earlier, one of the strengths of Fidelity is their Learning Center. So they have a lot of articles, videos, webinars, a lot of information on investing, beginner type. A lot of it is beginner type information. Say you want to learn how to do options trading, they have some webinars and courses on that. Or if you want to learn about Roth IRAs, they have pretty good information. They have information about trusts. They have information about UGMA or custodial accounts. So overall, they do a really good job in providing information. And this is probably one of the reasons why most corporations use Fidelity, because they provide the information, financial information that the corporations themselves cannot provide. So they rely on Fidelity to train their employees and provide financial information that they might not otherwise get. So in summary, Fidelity's been around a long time. People know their funds from way back, the Magellan Fund, the Contra Fund. So they have a good reputation in the mutual fund space. And then they have over the years created a really good investment platform. And companies have come to trust them. And I've seen companies move their 401k management through various companies, and they all kind of end up at Fidelity. And then they support the needs of the individual investor by making it really easy to use their platform. The other thing that people don't talk a lot about, but they do provide very good customer support. If this video was useful for you, please subscribe, press the like button, and also leave any comments you have about Fidelity or other investment management companies that you may use. Please visit my website, alantalksfintech.com. I have a Twitter account, Instagram account, Pinterest account, and then I have the typical affiliate marketing kinds of stuff that I'll put in the description. Thank you, and we'll be talking to you again soon.